Hello everyone, I am excited to share with you this month's Rising Joy Creations Crate. So we are doing a Valentine project, or hey, you know what, you can share love any time of the year, right? So it doesn't have to be just for Valentine's Day. Now I'm going to be using paint in the bottles, but you'll get them in these nice little paint pots, and trust me, you will have plenty to complete your project. And as a reminder, all of the items that you need are included with the kit. The one thing you might need is sandpaper if you want to. If you would like to put a command strip to hang it, these are kind of meant to be a wall leaner, but if you want to hang it up, they're very lightweight, so command strip will work fine for that. Or you can use like a plate holder to prop them up. An easel, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for, to prop them up. And then you're going to need a pair of scissors, because I always try to be overly generous in things like twine and ribbon. I'd rather you guys have a little bit too much than not enough. So we're just going to take some white paint, and I'm going to just show you one of these options on camera, and I'm going to pick this up so I'm not jostling you guys around on the camera. And I will have another sample or two that I will be sharing on my page to give you ideas. But as always, if you have paints, and let's face it, most of us have a collection of some supplies in our craft area that we've picked up for a variety of projects. So if you have some paints that you would like to change the coloring, then please feel free to do that. Make it your own. So these are meant to be a jumping off point, or you can complete it exactly as I'm doing. And you know what? Anybody else, let me know. Are you as messy as I am when I'm painting? I had a friend say, I don't know if I could do some of the things that you do. I'd just be so messy. I thought, oh, if you only saw my hands when I don't worry about making a mess. Paint washes off. Do protect your surface, but hands, easy to clean off. If you want to be neat, definitely you can grab a pair of gloves or just be a little tidier than I am. So if you want to do a more solid surface, you can. I am just liking the way this whitewash looks, and I'm just using this baby wipe and putting some paint on there, and the baby wipe just gives us that moisture to kind of help spread that around for us. And I love this method too because it dries super fast, and you can do this with any color of paint, and you still get to see some of that beautiful wood grain through there. So it's kind of my favorite way of covering a surface. So you'll see I'll use this for a lot of my signs. And we're going to do a little distressing with this one. So spoiler alert, this is like a farmhouse chic, shabby chic kind of style that I'm doing my today. So not your traditional Valentine colors, but I think that the black and white and buffalo plaid that I'm going to be using are very current, and I like that look. So that's why I thought I'd provide this as an alternative to the traditional colors. And with the baby wipe method, you can just keep going over this until you get it as covered as you would like. So just keep going back to your paint and adding more, and get as much deep, rich coverage as you prefer, or get very, very light coverage. So that's the great thing with crafting, is there is always room for interpretation and differences. All right, I'm gonna get this edge here a little bit more. Sorry for the bouncing. My camera stand is on my table, so it's always going to kind of shift a little. All right, so while that is drying, before we come back and do our distressing, we're going to go ahead and do some painting, and I'm gonna start, I think, with these. You're gonna get a little plate in your kit as well, and you get the sponge brushes, you even get the baby wipe. You're gonna get the glue to adhere these on, so yeah, so lots and lots of supplies included. So it really is meant to have everything that you need. So I'm just getting some paint on there and dabbing off, and I'll go over this more than once, but this is a fun metallic paint, and we're gonna use these circles. I'm gonna do a large one and a small one because you're gonna get a smaller piece that you can either attach to the nice large tag, or you can make it its own separate item, maybe use it as a tag for gift wrapping. So I'm gonna let that dry and come back and add another coat of this, because I found that this paint just doesn't quite get as full of coverage as some of the others. Maybe it's something with the metallic paints. I haven't used them very often. If you have used them, let me know. All right, well, I'll let that dry a bit, and we'll move on to our letters. So we've got our hugs and kisses, hexos, exos, and we're just gonna do a nice matte black with those. It's amazing how many blacks there are when you go look in the paint store. It's a little crazy. Lots and lots of them. And again, I'm just dabbing on, making sure I don't have too much on my sponge. And go ahead and take your time with this, and I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video so that you don't have to watch me paint all of these letters in detail, and then I'll be coming right back. So again, just keep covering it. If you set it aside and come back and give it another touch up, you'll be able to see if there's any areas that you aren't getting the complete coverage on. Okay, so I am back, and while all of those letters and pieces are drying, including the small tag that is included, as well as the word love that we're going to use on that tag. So while that is finishing drying, let's go ahead and let's talk about distressing this board. Now again, you can leave it like this with just the whitewash, and I think that that would look beautiful too, just a nice crisp look. But if you would like a distressed look, there are a couple of ways you can go about it. And the first thing I'm going to say is a little paint goes a long way. Okay, say that with me. A little paint goes a long way. So I really, really mean that. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So I am going to just take and dab some paint on a fresh sponge, and then I am going to just pounce this until I'm really getting hardly anything left on there, because I can always come back and add more. And then I'm just going to run this along the edges, and you can go from the inside out if you would like, or outside in. Run it up and down. You know, there's really a lot of different ways that you can get that distressed look on there. Okay, and I'm going to go back and add some more paint, and again I am just going to pounce most of that off. There we go. Might have got a little bit more off that first time. Again, it's always better to start with a little and come back and add more, because there is nothing distressed, it's more distressing if you add too much to begin with, like I did there. Oh, but see, we're going to just take some of that off, and I'm going to come back with my baby wipe, and if that's too dark for you, you can always come back in and put some more of that white paint on after it dries. And I'm trying not to be too systematic. Is that a good word? I'm trying to mix up the looks a little bit so that it's not, it looks a little bit more natural. I guess that's a better way of saying that. Oops, got to actually get some paint on before pouncing off. And I'm going to come in and get a few more dark spots here. So again, it's a lot of playing with it and finding the look that you like and how much distressing that you want on your piece. So I tend to get a little overly critical with my distressing, and then when I look at the end project, it's all fine. So wait till you get everything put together. I'm an overanalyzer. Anybody else an overanalyzer? So again, I'm going to dab off. I'm doing a baby wipe this time. So Sean, you can come in, and I prefer this method, I think, to using the sponge, but it's all about the final look that you want. Some people might find this a little bit more heavy-handed on that. So in fact, I'm going to go back and add a little bit of the baby wipe to the edges here. Really kind of make this very distressed. And then I am going to come back in with a dab of my white here and just tone down that one corner where I feel like it got a little bit heavier than I wanted. So just going to come in there and put a little coat over, and it's just going to tone that down. So now we've got our background pieces, and let's go ahead and look at our X's and our O's. And you're going to want to line these up down near the bottom because we're going to add some of this beautiful buffalo plaid along the top. So take your ribbon, and you could go ahead and adhere your ribbon first if you like. I prefer to glue my pieces down, so just get an idea of how far down to the bottom you want those to go. Okay, so you could go a little bit higher with this. You could leave the ribbon out altogether. It's up to you. You are going to get a piece of the smaller buffalo plaid as well. My intention for that was that you could use it to put through as a holder on your smaller ribbon or your smaller tag. But again, take these pieces, mix them up, use them however you would like to use them. Then we have our small tag that we have our word love, and then there is going to be some red paint included for a little heart that you can add on there. And then we've got our circles that we painted with the metallic look to look like washers. And let's go ahead and start gluing things down. So the glue that you're going to get in here is a small super glue, and this is a make sure it's not over your project. I almost made a mess there. It is a one-time use, so once you put that on and that's pierced, there's not a cap to close it up. So hey, if you got anything else that you need glued around the household, good time to do that. Get your super glue, your single-use super glue out, and use the rest of that up. Okay, so I'm getting that centered over the hole, and let's see, just want to make sure where I want these, and I'm going to go ahead and I like to work kind of middle out. These are nice big pieces, not a lot of fine details, so they're a lot easier to glue on there. You don't have to worry so much about the glue seeping out the edge, but you still don't want to get too much on there. Okay. Some of the really tiny pieces, you want to make sure you're careful that you're not letting that getting too heavy-handed. It is super glue, so you know, be careful your fingers. And they're going to be stuck together. Not that I have any experience with that. Just kidding. I have lots of experience with that. You know, I never claimed to be a neat crafter, but I'm a fun crafter. And I enjoy what I do. So I hope that you guys are enjoying these kits. If you've already signed up, if you haven't, sign up and pick up a kit. So as a reminder, you get a discount when you do these as a subscription. I may be opening some of these up for one-time purchase as well. I don't have a website yet, so everything is done through my Facebook page and PayPal. So it's just a little bit more listing to do, so I haven't quite got to that yet. But you do get them at a discounted price, and you will get a reduced price. Oh goodness, shifted that. You will get a reduced price if you purchase before the end of this month. The kit, if it is shipped, is $28, and if it is local pickup, and if you're local, you can definitely still get it shipped too. If it is local pickup, it is $22 for the kit. Great projects to get a group of friends together and have fun creating. So I've included a couple of extra hearts, different sizes if you want to mix things up, to give you some options there. And for my subscribers, I always include a little extra surprise. So when I complete this one, I will show you the materials that if you want the more traditional look. So if you want the more traditional look, you will be getting the red as an alternative. Well, you'll be getting the red anyway, but you can use the red as an alternative to painting either the background or the large letters. You can do a black background with red, white background with red. It's kind of, you know, fun. Mix them up. Gotta put the glue on that one. See what combinations you have. Maybe you have some ribbon at home that you've just been dying to find a use for, and this could be that time. So I'm going to come in and do a little bit of extra touch up on that red. Just want that really bright and vibrant. And then we're going to come over here and touch up a couple of spots. The trick is just not having too much paint, and just dabbing lightly. You don't want it to go all the way to the background. So light dabs, light paint. All right, let's get to finishing those. You know what? Let me get those other ribbons to show you. Give this a second to dry, and then come back and we will put the ribbon on. Okay, so if you choose the red and white design, this is the ribbon that you will need. So because I'm offering a choice this month, if you you know, have already done your subscription, please email me or send me a Facebook message, and then this is the smaller ribbon for the tag with lots of sparkle. So I know which one you're going to prefer. If I don't hear from you, I am going to assume that you like the buffalo plaid and the black and white look, and that's the kit that you will be sent. Oh, that darn glitter gets everywhere. But either one, I love the colors, and I think they're fun. So glitter everywhere. I'll probably be tracking it through my house for the next few days. So okay, so let's go ahead and we have to touch a couple more pieces up there. Let's go ahead and get our ribbon on. And so I've already kind of wrapped this around and cut it down. And I've tried using super glue, but that is just not working so well for me. Some ribbons it'll work, some it won't. So I will be sending you some glue dots, and we are going to be putting wrapping this with twine that's going to be tied as well. So you know, don't worry about it. It's going to get extra secured, but you do want to have it in place while you're trying to get that twine around. Okay. There we go. It's coming together and they're looking cute. Okay, I'm going to take my long piece of twine here, and I am just going to hold this and have about 5 or 6 inches so left so I can do a bow. In fact, I'm maybe going to do a little bit more. I am atrocious at tying bows. It is a skill that some people have, and it just is not a natural thing for me. So I'm going to wrap this around 3 times completely, and then come back up here to where I'm going to tie my bow. And as I said, I have put quite a bit extra, so go ahead and trim that off. And just going to tie a very simple bow here off to the side. You could make it larger if you want. If you do fancy bows, you can do that as well. And then I'm going to fuss with that a little bit to try and get it to go more the direction I want it to. So there we go. And then you do have these extra heart pieces. If you wanted to put any of those maybe along that ribbon area to jazz it up a little bit more, you sure can do that. And we're going to do a last final touch up as I stop fiddling with this and getting things on it. There we go. And we'll set this off to the side for a moment. And let's get our shorter strings out. Let's go ahead and work on this one. I did include, like I said, this ribbon if you would like to feed that through. And I think let's go ahead and do that. Let's add this to kind of tie those together. I like a fun ribbon tag. And I'm just gonna pull that around till I get it arranged the way that I want. And we're gonna pull those cute little pom-pom pieces out that are the trim. You want to see those, right? Those are what make it so cute. And then I'm going to give a nice angle cut on my ribbon. There we go. Now let's go ahead and use the twine for this one. So what I'm going to do is come and fold this in half and tie a knot right there, and feed this through once And I'm gonna feed it through twice and then feed it through the loop. It just gives a little bit more chunk there, especially on a bigger opening to have that. And then if you wanted to, you could actually squeeze this right through there. It's a tight fit, but we can do it. And you can actually hang this tag off of your larger one, or you can use it as a completely separate piece. That is up to you. But I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope that you're inspired to create your own. Take what I've done, mix it up, add your own touch to it, and please post some pictures in the group so I can see what you guys have been up to. I hope that you have a blessed day and take some time to get creative.